Hello, good morning. And here we are for another breath and silent meditation Sunday. This is a great way to start your week from a place of calm and peace and serenity. And I just spoke about serenity on my live session, my live journaling session every day. Uh, that I do every day. And today I was talking about serenity. And I like to start my Sunday like this because it keeps me feeling calm and peaceful and appreciative of the coming week. It is a day that I like to reflect. I do some journaling also on Sunday, which I will probably be doing after this call. And I like to spend this day prepping for the week, but coming from a place of calm and peace. And that's what we're here to do this morning. I'm super glad you're here. Thank you for being here. If you have any questions along the way, just don't hesitate to put them in the chat. I will be delighted to answer them. My name is Catherine Chestnut. I am an author and a mindfulness and meditation teacher. I actually discovered mindfulness years ago. I wasn't calling it that because mindfulness encompasses so many different practices. There's meditation, absolutely, which is probably what a lot of us think of as a mindful practice. But it can come into so many things like journaling. Mindful journaling is one of my favorite things to do. And in fact, I wrote a whole book about it here, The Inner Affirmations, the original book that I wrote. And it's a whole, it walks you through the practice of mindful journaling step by step. So there's no question. And it comes from a more authentic place within you. So you feel more, what do I want to say? Like you're really tapping into what's true for you. And that is why I am still practicing mindful journaling after a couple decades from the first time I was introduced to it. So if you have questions about that or you want to learn more about it, you can read my read my book. Or you can join me tomorrow morning at 9:30 Eastern on Insight Timer. Every week, we do an intentional journaling session live, and we find our intention for the week through that session. Now, today, we will be doing a breath meditation followed by a silent meditation. And each week we practice a different breath technique. And breath has become also one of the things that I have really come to appreciate so much as a way to relieve stress, find focus and clarity, and be more serene and connect with myself. For years. For years, I said I was living in my head. I said that because I felt like I could think and logic everything. And what I discovered is that when I wasn't paying attention to what was going in here, I inevitably got myself into some kind of trouble. And when I say trouble, I would have some kind of crisis in my life. So we don't want to do that. First thing I want you to do is take off a watch if you have one on and put that to the side because we want to keep ourselves free and flowing as we're doing this. Keep your feet flat on the ground, legs not crossed, again, because we want the energy that we are working to improve and increase our flow of serenity. So, the breathing practice that we're going to be doing today is called super sigh breath. And it is a clearing and relaxing breathing practice that releases stagnant energies and tension in our bodies. Another reason why we want to take that watch off, make sure our feet aren't crossed. So, again, we're releasing that stagnant energy and we want it to flow freely through us as we are releasing. So we're breathing through the mouth for short, controlled periods. And this shifts the dominant parts of the brain, left brain, and deepens our awareness of the breath, all while providing a cathartic release. That's why we're here today. And this is really good to practice when you want to clear space for lightness in your mind. Maybe you want to be more creative, more relaxed, and when you want to soften your body. If you've been super tense lately or you're feeling tense right now, this is a good way to relax. And you can see how this might be something that you might want to do. I like to do it before I do my reflection for the week, my mindful journaling for the week, and when I want to be more creative and perhaps plan what I'm going to be doing for the week, thinking about what's important for me for this coming week. Okay, so some of the benefits of a super sigh breath, besides, in addition to what I've already spoken about, it relieves stress and anxiety, as I've mentioned. It releases stagnant energy, which I've also mentioned. So if you ever feel like you're just sitting in something, this is for you. Or you're just stewing. You know what I'm talking about. You're ruminating and you're stewing over something over and over. You're playing a conversation that you had with somebody over and over in your head. Time to let go of that. Let it go. It's in the past. This also increases our feel-good hormones. So you could talk about serotonin, but you can take serotonin or you can do this particular practice and find this feeling good energy, but it's also coming from our hormones are being released as we're doing the practice. And it promotes calm and relaxation, which can be good if you're anxious about something or nervous. Sometimes I've been known to do this before going in to do a presentation or some public speaking, not necessarily because I'm nervous. Frequently, I'm very comfortable with the topic that I'm going to be talking about, but just getting that little extra boost of relaxation to help me more, what do I want to say? Present the material in a more relaxed way, because if I'm relaxed, my audience is more relaxed and more receptive to whatever it is that I'm going to be talking about. Okay, so let's talk about what's going to be happening while we're doing this practice. So you can sit, you can stand, you can lie down, it doesn't matter. But we start with a couple conscious breaths to connect, and then close your eyes or lower your gaze. I'm going to be keeping my eyes open because I'm going to be keeping my eyes open for the chat. So if anybody has any questions, but you can close your eyes. We'll take a slow, deep breath in through our nose, filling our belly and chest, and then open our mouth to exhale with a sigh, making a sound as we release. And the sound vibrates out of your throat and your nose and your mouth. And we take another, we'll keep doing this and sighing out through the mouth, making that sound. And we're going to repeat that a few times. And each time the exhale is going to get a tiny bit longer. And we'll continue to make that sound. All right. So let's get started. I want you to close your eyes or lower your gaze, as I mentioned. And let's take a couple conscious breaths just to connect with ourselves. So, and I have a reflex action that when I'm going to do some breath work, I close my eyes. So I'm going to be opening and closing them. But if you notice me do it, it's just because I can't seem to help myself when I'm doing it. All right. So take a couple deep breaths. Just to connect with ourselves and our bodies. Connect with this moment. Connect and feel your weight resting on whatever you're sitting or standing or laying down. Okay. Now, let's take a slow, deep breath through our nose and fill our belly and our chest. Okay, so, and open your mouth and make the sound ah as we're releasing. Now, notice the vibration of the sound in your throat and your mouth as you're doing it. So take another deep breath. And again. Keep going. We're going to do it a few more times. Conscious of breathing out. And filling your belly and your chest when you breathe in. Breathing in. Exhaling on the breathing in. One more time. All right. I don't know about you, but When I was doing that, I could feel my shoulders relaxing with each exhale. Just coming right down. Yes. Ah. Mm. Ah. Now, how did that feel? I noticed my shoulders dropping a little bit on the exhales, a little bit more. I felt some of my body relaxing, feeling that. What were you noticing as you were doing that? Thank you for letting me know. Yes, yes, shoulders. You noticed your shoulders dropping as well. That's great. Somebody mentioned that they noticed that they felt their chest loosening up and opening up with each inhale because there was more space there after the exhale. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else noticing that your forehead felt more relaxed? So sometimes we're walking around just with a little furrow in our brow, not even realizing that we're doing it. So you noticed that your forehead felt more relaxed. Awesome. That's great. Thank you all for sharing that. Anybody else want to share what came up for them while we were doing that? And this is one of the things that I absolutely love about breath work is that it's always with us. We can do it anytime we need to. Anytime we need to. I find that when I have moments of stress, sometimes I will excuse myself and go to the ladies' room and do some breath work for a couple minutes and then come back and I'll be more relaxed and able to deal with whatever situation is going on at the moment. All right. Now that we're good and relaxed, this is a great time to do some silent meditation, which is why I like to start this session with some kind of breath work. Now, it's not exactly silent because I'm going to be playing some music and I might be guiding you along a little bit along the way. We're not going to be doing it for very long. We're going to be here doing it for about 5 minutes. I know that when I first started doing silent meditation, it was really hard. My mind was whizzing a million miles, and I was having a hard time focusing on my presence in this moment. I was thinking about what do I need? What do I need to do when I'm done here? I can't wait to be done here. Anybody else feel that? Anybody else ever feel that way? Oh, I when is this gonna be over? I need to be done, right? Is that crazy how we live our lives sometimes? Absolutely. It's okay. Now, if you've never done silent meditation before, sometimes people have to start with a minute or 30 seconds. But the essence of it is to be very present in our body. That is why we do it. We don't have to sit a certain way. We're just being quietly within ourselves. Now, I like to play a little ambient music because I get distracted by sounds outside, the birds or a neighbor walking their dog outside the window. So in order to keep myself from being distracted from those sounds, I play a little ambient music, which is what I'm going to do today. I encourage you to close your eyes so you won't be visually distracted by anything and just be aware of yourself and your body and the sensations that you're feeling. Your physical, what are you feeling? What are you sitting on? What's your body feeling? Do you have any emotions that are moving around? Because remember, we just did an exercise to move stagnant energy. So you may have some emotions rolling around right now. Pay attention to them. They are valid, but you don't have to hold on to them. Just let them flow. Let them go wherever they're going to go. All right, I'm going to play a little music here, and we are going to be uh, quiet. I'm going to talk a couple times to guide you through the session. And again, if you have any questions while we're doing it, just pop them in the chat. I'll be keeping an eye on that. Here we go. All right. right. How was that? Just a couple minutes of peace just for ourselves right here in this moment. It's lovely, isn't it? How did anybody have any trouble or find their mind wandering? Well, of course you did, because that's what our minds are designed to do. They're designed to multitask, and our brain is constantly looking to solve a problem. But doing this practice gives our mind a break. And yes, it wants to go running off again. And it's okay. Mindfulness is not about clearing our mind completely. It is about being aware and coming back to this moment of ourselves, coming back to be ourselves, because we are human beings, not human doings. All right. So if you have any questions, either now or after this gets posted, feel free to put them in the comments. I will be glad to answer them anytime. And I will be back here next week. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos, my new meditations. I've got a great one that is dropping this week. It is a 7-day audio course that you can listen to here on Spotify or Insight Timer. And it is gratitude. It's going to take you right up to Thanksgiving Day if you're here in the US. And it's 7 different ways of practicing gratitude, leading us up to that very special day of gratefulness. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you later.